I'm me. I guess I got crooked ears. It's Holly from AskHollyHall.com. And finally, I'm feeling half human today. I'm gonna clean my thing there. And yeah, I haven't been so well the last 2.5 weeks. And then I had a few days starting to feel normal again. And then I went and did something, well, not really crazy. A lot of people have it done. It's a type of cleansing. I won't get into details. And it knocked me out until today. Even today, after a day's work, I'm thinking, okay, I need a little rest already. Um, but it really knocked me out. It threw my thyroid out for a curveball. But what they say is they call it a toxin crisis. So apparently, because I did it too soon, I wasn't quite 100% over COVID yet. I did it too soon, and it created. Oh, I gotta get my lighting going too. It created more toxins to kind of get stirred around, right? I guess it's like if you're if you haven't completely cleaned the bottom of the water from your pail and you stir it all up, even though it's finally settled, there's still a little bit of non-filtered debris there. It stirred it right back up again. So all kinds of crazy things happen, but it's okay. I am astrologically, I'm in a detox. So you're going to see me looking back and forth because I've got my trying to utilize it so that I can be in front of my Instagram and my computer at the same time because Instagram got to do on the phone. So we're going to do some live readings today. Blah, 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 Holly. We're going to do some live readings today. But first, I want to talk about the great, I call it the Great Divide. Society is calling it the Great Reset. I'm also talking about the peaceful war. So what I'm talking about is the peaceful war that begins May 16th, and I want to give you an idea of how to prepare for that, because we do need to prepare for this. There is a preparational period, and that's happening right now. So how do we do this? You take a look at where is your suffering coming from? Okay. Where is your lack? Where is your fear? Where is it where you're disheartened in any way? Where is it that you wish things were better, that you wish things were different? Now, I don't want you to do a deep dive into this unless you want to. This isn't about your this isn't about your own personal journey, inner child, none of that. This is more about what is happening right now with you on a global level. So if you find, like, for instance, for me, is I'm feeling, hi everyone, we're going to do some live readings. But first, I'm going to talk about the preparation for May 16th to the May 20th. What happens logistically or technically is that we have Jupiter in Pisces. And and we have this alignment in Pisces, which hasn't happened in a couple of hundred years. So this is a big deal. Not since it's actually more than that, 300 years, not since the 1700s. So this is an extreme in Western astrology. So this is an extremely important time. It's a healing time. It's a time when we take a look at what is oppressing us, what is oppressing us, what is depressing us, what is holding us back. Where do we feel abandoned, invisible? Where do we feel lost? Where do we feel like victims in our life? You might feel victim in your society. You might feel victim in your government. You might feel victim or oppressed in your work situation, in your family, in your home. What I'm going to say to you is it doesn't matter what the placeholder is or who the placeholder is. What most matters is what is it about yourself that you want, how you want that changed. Okay. So you might be feeling, for example, I was working with a client today where it was around her adult son who's in school, and how this is creating a little bit of a divide in the family. But it's not the son that's in school, and there isn't really a division of sorts. But that event, which is my son's grown up and going to school and looking at the future, his future, that event's a placeholder for the other parent's lack, for the other parent's need. Now, in this case, it's intergenerational. It's deep, deep in the generations and generations of the paradigm of that culture. So we are, and what her mission is to work in a field, in her field, which I'm not going to give a lot away, but in her field, she's thinking of taking a shift. She does consulting. So she's taking a shift on wanting to empower women that come from a very strong male dominated culture. So what I helped her do is shift the paradigm of the suffering that she's in to bring it into the warrior, right? What am I going to do according to my own belief systems and my own lack and loss, in which I can help rescue others? Because when it shifts into Aries, buddy, people, we are going to see a huge shift in the inner warrior. There's going to be fighting, there's going to be battling, there's going to be protesting, there's going to be advocacy, activism. Now, you can look at this as a bad thing, but you see, it's not staying out of Pisces for very long. It's actually going to waver back and forth, and it will be back into Pisces soon after that, which will be into the new year. No, actually, it's going to be for a short-lived time in November and December. So when we're hovering back and forth, and it's going to hover again in 2023, we have a flavor of the peaceful, inner love, unconditional, passive. Just let's be love. Let's be all one. And then the warrior, which is independent. It's about me. So how am I? And so when it wavers back and forth, that's why I call it the peaceful war. In the mid-May, we're going to enter the cycle, what I call the peaceful war cycle. And so definitely, DW, you're here with your son's girlfriend, and she would like to ask what's going to happen with her career and finances as she's going back. I should leave this up here, as she's going back in March. Born March 94. Okay, if she knows the time of her birth, that would be great. I'm definitely going to take a look at that. So when May comes, we got to prepare now. So you got to know where your loss is. Where is your victim? Where do you need to make a difference? Now, it might be that you decided, I'm going to change my eating habits. It's going to make a difference on the planet. I'm going to change my work because my work situation isn't satisfying me. I'm going to advocate more for my belief system. Might be in your family dynamic, might be with your friends, right? It's hard. It's up to you. However, when I look at people's astrology charts, I can definitely see where this is for you. I can help you skip a few steps. Why go through the painful, agonizing, day by day, onerous checking in with yourself, observing yourself, tripping over other people that are getting in your way, when I can speed up that whole process and get you there? So you can book that at askhollyhall.com. Don't think I have any openings this week. Let me see, but I definitely have them for the week after. Okay. I actually thought I had a space tomorrow, but just like that, magical, it got booked. Okay. So let me take a look at this beautiful young girl who wants to know what's going on with her career. Early afternoon. You did say that. Okay. I apologize. So she is in March. and she is 1990 something. And she is in the afternoon. I put that early morning, afternoon something. And she wants to know what's going to happen with her career and finances as she's going back to school. Hi, Liz. So everybody, there's a share button there somewhere. So push share. If you're on my YouTube right now, subscribe so you get notifications when I come on live, because sometimes I'm random. Most of the time I'm about this time till 5 o'clock on Tuesdays. And the only reason I did it a bit earlier today was because I'm still tired from getting over my cleansing, and I'm kind of losing steam. So I thought I'm going to jump on board a little bit sooner. So thank you. So press the share this with everyone that you know. Free readings. What the heck? Who's going to turn down free readings? Who's going to say, you spammed my feed sharing a free reading? No one. Said no one. Okay. So the first thing that stands out for me, Miss Bianca, I just love Bianca, Miss Bianca, is that this is going to save you a lot of heartache in your future. You are an independent person who needs your freedom. You absolutely need your freedom, and you need your freedom to have your alone time and your quiet time. There's a split personality here. There's a part of you that needs solitude, privacy, quiet. You get burnt out because you go, 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 go. This is you. So you're all energy and you use it up. You use up all the batteries, you use up all the juice, you use up all the gas, and then you burn out. And then you're sleeping for 2 or 3 days, or you want to be left alone, or you need that privacy. So when you have this kind of personality, you need a job, you need a partner, you need a career that allows you to have independence, ultimate freedom, which means it's a job where it's open, right? And it's got a really healthy sense of adventure as well. So things are changing, things are adventurous, but you're somewhat working on your own. So this might sound a bit crazy, but even like working as a parole officer or working in an ambulance or working you're pretty good in the health industry as well, but you're also very good in, you're very smart, right? So you need something that's constantly stimulating the educational part. You need something you're constantly learning, you're constantly growing, in a company that's constantly growing. So it doesn't matter if you're a waitress, if you're a physicist, if you're in the healthcare system, which you need to work an emergency type role. But it has to allow you to decompress. So I don't think you should work in ER, maybe an ambulance driver, but I don't think you should work anywhere where they're going to ask more of you. You don't necessarily need a schedule, but you need to know that this is the time I work, this is the time I have off. It has to be very equal, or you're going to get burnt out and you're not going to be happy throughout. You're in a really good stage right now. So money wise and career wise, even though you struggled for the last couple of years, it's going to get drastically better starting in that's 2023. It's sooner than that. December is very good for you financially. And yeah, that's when it starts actually. It starts in May. No, it starts in May. So the end of May. The end of May is something very sudden, unexpectedly that will come up that will help you with the finances around your education. So you're going to find out about a grant, or you're going to find out about a loan, or you're going to find out about a situation or you find out it's not as expensive as you thought it would be. I can't tell you what that is. A, I don't have the time of your birth. B, when it comes to Uranus, it's extremely unexpected, but it's very advantageous for you financially, and it very much supports the freedom that you need in order to be able to financially afford that. And that's going to continue for the rest of the year. Okay. So and I hope that this is taking you away from somewhere. I know you're born in 94 and you're going back to school, but I hope this is taking you towards something that you wish that you had already done. And you had to go through that process. You had to sort of follow the path of what somebody told you to do in order to find out what a process of elimination, in order to find out what you didn't want to do. Okay, so don't beat yourself up about that. This is going to be a really rewarding time for you because this is something that you've always wanted to do. It's very progressive, it's quite new age. It allows you to be much more independent, and financially, it's going to be quite supportive. So, all I do, people, is I ask you for your feedback. So, let me know if it's spot on or not. And if it is, why is it? So now let's take a look at AskHollyHall.com is where you're going to get some readings done. Um, anyone on Facebook or YouTube that's watching right now, just now I'm just going to share my own because I believe that I'm on a page and not on an actual. Here we go. And then I'm going to share. Okay. Now, again, take a look at what is holding you back. What is making you feel down? What is making you feel sad? Where do you feel lost? Where do you feel that there is sadness or despair? Because this is what is going to change for you drastically that was not it, in May of the 16th of May. So Bianca says that was absolutely spot on, especially about my personality type. And I'm always on the go and always burn out and need that alone time. It's crazy how you said an ambulance driver. I just applied for a paramedic program today. Yes. No, universe gives me examples that are exactly spot on. So you know what? This universe does not give me that unless it wants you to know that you're on target, that you're on path. You know why? Because this allows you to kind of work on your own. You know, obviously you're going to have somebody, the other person that's driving with you. There has to be 2 attendants, right? But you're basically on your own. You bring them to where they need to go, and then you leave, and then you go off into the next destination, into the next location, or you get to rest if there's no destination or location, right? So thank you very much for that validation and that verification. So I'm going to share this right now in my home Facebook. There we go. And then I'm going to share it in my group to make sure that everybody can find me, and share so people can see that they can have a free live reading from me. One thing about these all-in-one platforms is it only allows a couple of platforms. It doesn't let you do it on your Facebook profile, etc. Okay, so we're going to do some live readings. Yes, so Kaz, I would definitely like to do a reading for you. I need your birth date. I'm just going to add this now. This is exactly how I need you to lay it out, okay? See that there? You guys can't see it, but I need your birth date, time, and place. If you don't have your time, that's okay. And put it as May 02, blah, 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 let's say. I don't want 05 or 09, okay? Put the actual birth date. And Farah, I'm look forward to reading from you as well, with you as well tomorrow. One of my clients is in the house. Okay. So Kaz, just give me all that information and your question right beside it, and I will get on it. So Farah, I'm going to, what happened? So we have you at August 26th, and it's a good time to buy a house in light of your May 16th, 20th prediction. Actually, it is. In fact, get it done before that if you can, because of the prediction around that's when I see a stock market crash. And that's when I see the investments going down. It's already starting. I just shared. I'm actually going to write an article on that. There's already been a lowering of Facebook in their results. Two CEOs of Moderna, I believe it is, definitely Pfizer, and also another major player in the pharmaceutical industry stepped down. It's even in the news, and you can look it up. In the news, they write the article in a way that this is shocking that they've suddenly stepped down, even though their statements is it's just time to move on and have a different life, right? Of course, they're not going to say anything, but the buzz around that is that something big is happening. All of a sudden, Pfizer is producing, they're making it publicly available, their research and their gatherings of results for the last 10 years. They're letting out something like 1 million a month. It's a lot, right? Because it's of all their drugs. They have to be completely transparent with all of their research and their gatherings and the results of all of their drugs. So they're letting out something like 1 million a month. And they're also wondering why. Why is this happening? So when two of the major pharmaceutical players in globally, specifically since COVID, CEOs are stepping down and they're being questioned, and they're going to be going to court, actually. I don't know if this is a prediction of mine or this is what I read, but they're definitely going to be taken into court for a lot of, now they've had this happen before. So this is not news, but Pfizer has been taken to court. They pay it off. They move on, right? People are not going to be getting rid of pharmaceuticals. We need a certain amount of pharmaceuticals. What we don't need is the bombarding of the capitalistic pharmaceutical. You only have choice A or choice B, and that's all we're going to offer you. You can't take any other way. You're not going to get paid. We're not going to pay for it. We're not going to provide it. We're going to make it really difficult for you to get, right? So one of my pet peeves is that. So I'll give you a quick example, and then I'm going to definitely look at Farah here. Is I was just speaking with a client friend who's Canadian, who is the owner of a drug that stops the brain from desiring very serious drug addictions like opioid addictions, cocaine addictions, fentanyl addictions. It literally turns the brain off. It doesn't desire it anymore once you have this treatment. Apparently, Gabor Mate is all involved. I've got clients that got some serious drug addictions, and I'm taking them down that, like, check this out, check this path out. They're just starting to get FDA approved in Canada, but it'll be a long time before it's accepted in Canada or the United States. But you can go to Mexico or you can go to Costa Rica and get it done. And there are companies in Canada that facilitate that. So you go to this company in Canada, they treat you, they diagnose you, you see doctors, you see psychiatrists, you see specialists, they assist you on the journey to Mexico, Costa Rica. Obviously, it's very expensive. And obviously, people that have some certain drug addictions, they don't have the money for it. And this is an extremely expensive process for them. But in the meantime, how many times do you go to emergency and there's somebody who's really seriously hooked on a drug that's screaming, barking their heads off because this is a painful process, right? But they could have a cure. Like, this is what drives me crazy, that they don't have this choice. Why? Because it's not a major drug company. It's owned by this dude who lives in Canada and in a set of other partners, right? It's not public. So Anyways, this is part of the advocacy that's going to start in May as well. Okay, I got off topic like I always do because Source tells me what to say. Source, I'll give you a little secret about Source or the universe. I don't call it God because God energy is a completely different energy. And that's in my book, 101 Answers from the Universe, what God energy is. Source energy, universal energy, it's like a library. It's like the Akashic records, if you want to call it that. It's a library. It's a bunch of energy that has all of this information. And I connect to that informative area. And there's a librarian and there's guides that help guide me to where I'm supposed to get the best material from just for you, right? So Source has ADD. Seriously, Source has ADD, ADHD, yeah, and sometimes no filter. So it just like bombards me with stuff sometimes, and I have to try to pick it apart. What am I saying? What am I not saying? I've learned most of your psychic ability and your clairvoyant ability, and they're making me say this right now too, isn't learning how to connect with them. They're already connecting to you. It's learning how to decipher what's yours and what's not, and then how to translate their language. Because we get it all the time. Sometimes we call it intuition or instinct. So she's at 7:30 p.m. and she wants to know about the house selling. Now, if you can, like I said, if you can get that house up for sale, I work with a client every week, and I was just talking to him today. Get that house up for sale ASAP. Okay. And I'm going to say the same thing for you. Now, astrologically, I set a date when he would sell, which will be about 5 days after. And then there'll be the move in August, end of July, August. But for you, you should have done it a month ago. Just saying. Should have done it a month ago. Doesn't mean you still don't have time because that energy field is good for another month. But this has to be done ASAP. You're going to get you're not going to get as much money as you would have if you did it a month ago, but it's pretty close. Okay. It's not going to go into that bidding war as much, but it's pretty damn close. So let me just look up to see if there's any hiccups for you. No. So you got Saturn trine. So you've got moon, the moon. So even at the end of the year, that's an optimum time for you to sell. The reason that you didn't get it done before then is you've been arguing with somebody about it, about things that need to be done, should be done, shouldn't be done. At this point, I know there was a lot of maybe cosmetic work that you wanted to have done, but just going to have to skip that and just get her done. If you wait till after June, the beginning of June, you're not going to be happy. Okay, that's just what I'm seeing. So feedback. Hi, Holly. It's Dawn. I'm going to book a full reading for Bianca. You made her day. Awesome. Oh, Dawn from Windsor. Is it Dawn from Windsor? Windsor, my hometown. Good. And feeling a tad stressed. Excited for our session. I don't own a home. I'm waiting to buy. Okay. So buy. Okay. So then in that case, buy between mid-May and mid-June. That's when I see that happening. The other dates, actually, let me give you the exact dates. There's going to be some problem with the paperwork, though. And there'll be some sudden expenses around the house. But you're going to get it at a lower value, so you'll be able to afford it. It's still a good deal. And the Saturn 19, give me a second. I'm getting itchy nose. That's money. Don't borrow that money. You don't need to borrow. I don't know if that makes sense to you. Don't borrow the money. You can actually be optimum in December, a little bit in the end of November, and also March, but that's past, between mid-May and June, and then also oh my gosh. And then September is a great time, and also in November and December. Okay. So it's not an emergency to do it now. If you hold off to the fall and the late winter, that's okay as well too. But I'm going to ask about this money situation, because this is, and then intention. So this is a card for you. Intention. And then I'm going to get to you, Chaz, next. And then after that, I'm going to get to Yanni. So this archangel is Sandophone. And Sandophone, are you like me? Do you still have to go down the alphabet? Q, R, S, T, U, V. S comes after R. Okay. So this is intention. Drawing this card means Sandophone is asking you to make a list of your expectations, as these are the seeds of your intention. That thought creates reality. And so by revealing this card, you are being asked to truly specify what you intend and to place a purpose to that intention. From clarity, defined purpose, your experience is sought. The angel wants you to experience love and joy and success. Therefore, visualize yourself and your intimate in gratitude, joyful experiencing the outcome of your intention, and chant hey, 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 Hay, hey, hey, hey. Okay, good. Now we're going to take a look at Chaz. May I have a reading, please? Yeah. So if you look, Nita, you can see underneath there, and please subscribe if you guys are on YouTube. So Nita, I need your birth date, if you have the time and place, exactly how you see it there. Not the 05. I have to have the letters MAY, May. Farah says thank you, but we're going to talk tomorrow. Farah, I'm going to give you a lot more details tomorrow. The date's much more specific when we have a reading tomorrow. But there is a conversation that needs to happen around the paperwork, certain things. There is something else that's going on that we're going to have to discuss around that house too. It's a separation of sorts. Okay. So now we're going to go to Chaz. And I need your question. Kaz, I really need a question. I'm anybody who has readings with me, and I'm booked every day. I'm not a crystal ball. Okay. I'm not a fortune teller. I work on a very deep spiritual level. I use clairvoyance, astrology, neurolinguistic programming, psychology, coaching, and past lives. So especially on these quickies, put me in a direction and I can give you every detail known to mankind. Leave me out in the open and you're going to get wishy-washy stuff. Okay. Sometimes I'm spot on, but no guarantee. So we got April 02 in the UK. 78. So right now you're going through a real tough time, Kaz. You're going through, don't know about your time of birth, so I can't say whether it's with women or not. But there's a lot of anger coming up for you. It's been happening, and your direction has suddenly been shifted and changed. And that started last spring, kind of May, June time. It's been a very powerful but somewhat difficult influence to handle, but it's not impossible to handle. The difficulty is that you or someone else's ego is getting in the way, and there's a real power struggle. going on. The issue, because I don't know the time of your birth, but the issue is around um, uh, it's a power struggle with bosses. It's a power struggle with authority. It's a power struggle with people that think that they're the boss of you, specifically even a female. So even a mother figure or a woman or a female entity. And it's a lack of freedom. And you've been feeling this since last summer. I need my freedom. I need my space. I need a break. But you're kind of leaning that financially. If I just had my freedom financially, if I just got that job, if I got that money, if I got that paycheck, then I could get out of this situation, right? But it doesn't have to do with the money. You need freedom. Kaz said spot on. You need freedom from the situation, but it's not going to be money that's going to take you away. And this is going to be a struggle with you until January of 2023. Okay, so now it's time. You're a soft, caring, nurturing person who's always focused on financial stability, but now it's time for you to be independent of that, completely independent of that. And so you're not loyal to that person anymore. Okay, now sometimes it's not a person, sometimes it's a situation that the person is involved in. So sometimes I see a client who's arguing with their partner all the time, and it's you going, you know what? I don't want to leave this marriage. I don't want to leave this family dynamic, but this arguing has to stop. So some people will jump, throw the baby out with the bathwater and go like, well, then I just need to leave the marriage. So then I need to get a job so I can leave the marriage because I don't have any money. Right? Is this your situation, Kaz? Right? But that's not necessarily the case. Sometimes it's just that this situation has to stop. I'm no longer victim to it. And then you bring out your shield and bring out your sword and go for battle. Make it go away. Now with, you're welcome, Farah. Hi, Yoginess. I always giggle. I love your name. Your Instagram name. So now we're going to take a look at Nita, and she's 23rd of also April, but a different year. And she's in South Africa. You're welcome, Kaz. AskHollyHall.com. That's when you can get more of an extensive reading. You don't have to book an hour. I have little minis. Everybody loves my minis. I got one that's a deal going on right now that is $19. $19. I mean, that's unheard of. My 1 hour readings are $119 US. So $19 gives you a couple of questions answered. That's basically what those are for. I have clients that are like, I don't want a full hour with you, Holly, but I got a couple questions, just one off, like, when should I sell my house? Should my child go to this school or that school? Those are quickies, right? I got 15-minute readings and 30-minute readings, which they want more extensive, like, what's wrong with my dad? Why is there a relationship issue going on with my dad? He's really sick. What should I do about this? And so there's a little bit more of a spiritual soul, psychological kind of assessment there. I'm not a psychologist. I'm not a medical professional in any way. I'm not a therapist. Do your due diligence. I'm not a nutritionist, even though I give all those advice according to what I see and what I get from source. And Nita, what's your question? Nita, what's your question? Okay, Nita, starting mid-March, which was only a couple of months ago, you really got to try to see the forest through the trees. You're having a really hard time. You're having a lot of different opinions, a lot of different arguing. You're feeling like it's difficult for you being very much around money and finances. You're feeling very stubborn, kind of stuck around money and finances, but there's a little bit of a magic wand that's happening. It's been going on for about a year. So if you can separate you need your freedom around finances as well too. So it's like, I want to make my own money so I can have my freedom and do my own thing. I don't want to have that money coming from my partner. I don't want that money coming from a loan. I don't want that money coming from my parents. I want to be able to financially provide for myself. And you are stuck, and you already know, you've already made that decision, which is what I just mentioned, right? But you're feeling like you're slave to the wage. So sure, I'm I'm a dentist and I'm making money pretty good, but I don't like being a dentist. I don't like being an accountant. I don't like doing the job that I want. I want freedom to do what I love to do. In fact, I want to go back to school, but all this is money, 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 right? And so, first, you need to release yourself from the loyalty that you have to the people that's been providing for you. If that makes any sense to you, please validate. And this stuckness just started like a month ago, and you're going to feel this way for another 7 months. So at the very beginning of January, the end of December, you won't be stuck. But right now, it's about setting boundaries and rules and letting people know that they're not going to be the boss of you. They're not going to be the ones that's going to tell you what to do. Right. And you can be a bit stubborn as well, because you can be very loyal to all the education that you got, all of the money that you've been making, other people around you that are making this money, that somehow your situation is supporting them as well. Right. But for you, the time of birth would be helpful. We can probably do that in a longer reading. Okay. So you're regrouping your thoughts right now in how you want to have freedom around your education, and or you're going to be doing something completely different. This is also, like I said, a magic wand phase. So a magic wand phase, nothing, no one, nobody, no situation would hold you back. What would you be doing? Okay. Now she says that her husband passed away, and I feel I have so much to sort out. And when I say sort out, when you say sort out, I'm still seeing it as financial situation. There's a lot of finances to work out. And are there people meddling and people getting in the way? And is there red tape? And is there situations that are stopping you from sorting out these financials? Whether it's paying, I'm really sorry for your loss, by the way. I'm so sorry for your loss. This is too young for this loss. And what I would do when we're in a situation like this is hire, she says, yes, finances. Hire someone to do this for you. It's worth it. Okay. Not friends, not family, a professional that will help you do this. An accountant, finance manager. Sometimes when there is bereavement and situations where there's a lot to do with funeral homes and all that, they have people as well. You're not one to ask for help. Okay. But this is a time for you to ask for help. You deserve it. You help a lot of people. Okay. Okay, everyone. So I am, and I know this doesn't feel like a magic wand time, but things, if you seek out that help, things are going to flow very easily for you. They really will. You're going to be downsizing, you're going to be less than what you have, but you're actually going to have this enormous amount of freedom around it. That's very comfortable for you. Very comfortable. Okay. So askhollyhall.com. If you want to get a mini, if you want to get a full Monty, get the full one. I know I'm booked up this week, and unless somebody suddenly reschedules, then suddenly there's an opening if you see it. And I'm here every Tuesday, preferably 4 o'clock. I did it a bit early today. And I love connecting with all of you. You're very welcome. Hi, Yoginess. I want to wave. Spread this around. I want to help as many people as I can. Namaste.